Guys, welcome to Dairy 102. We're going to be going over the life cycle of a dairy cow. So let's start with some vocabulary. Our first word is going to be gestation. Gestation is another word for pregnancy or the period of time that a cow is pregnant. And feel free to pause these, guys, so that you can get these copied down. You should copy down these words in your own, these definitions in your own words. Don't just straight copy what's on Miss Warren's screen. So our next word is going to be lactation. Lactation is the period of time a cow produces milk after having had a baby. So after a cow, remembering some vocabulary from Dairy 102, after a cow freshens, she will begin her lactation. All right, colostrum. Colostrum is a special milk the cow produces right after calving or freshening that jumpstarts a calf's immune system. Calf hutch, a small shelter made specifically for calves to live in. Weaned. Weaning is another word for switching a calf from milk to solid food as its primary source of nutrition. You could say, yeah, we need to wean that calf. She's old enough, or something like that. Next up, calf starter. This is a special grain for young calves. It has molasses and lots of protein in it. Calves are just like kids, guys. They like sweet things, hence the molasses. Scours, another word for diarrhea. Heats. So heat is another word for estrus. This is periods of times when that's supposed to say cow, when a cow is able to be bred. So you might say something like, oh, Charlotte's in heat today. We need to breed her. Meaning she is currently ovulating and we need to breed her so that she can have a baby. Artificial insemination. This is a process where a bull's semen is collected, frozen, and placed into the cow by a farmer with no need for the bull to be there. We will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of this later. A few more vocabulary words for you. Natural service. This is the traditional method of breeding where a bull mounts and breeds a cow. And once again, we will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of this later. Milking parlor. This is a special room where cows are milked. It contains lots and lots of equipment. Bulk tank. This is a large refrigerated tank where milk is kept before it is taken to the market. Most farms get their milk picked up anywhere from every 12 hours to every 48 hours. They need a nice big bulk tank to keep their milk nice and cool. Voluntary waiting period. This is the time after a cow gives birth where we do not breed her. That way she has a chance to recover from having had a baby. You know, we need to give our cows times off to enjoy their lives. So, dried off. This is the act of stopping milking a cow at the end of her lactation. So after, 305 days, guys, 300 days, we're going to dry off a cow. We're going to stop milking her so she can get ready for her next baby. And dry period. Dry period is what happens after they are dried off. Imagine that. This is a vacation period after the cow is dried off, but before she gives birth, where she is not milked. She is just resting and waiting for her baby. You know, guys, if I was going to be any animal, I would want to be a dairy cow because they're the only animals that get paid vacation time. Yeah, that dry period's pretty nice. And finally, I thought the last one was the last one, but whatever. All right, finally, breed back. To breed a cow again after she has given birth. So after a cow gives birth, we give her her voluntary waiting period where she gets to relax, and then we breed her back again so she can have another baby. All right, so let's meet Coco Chanel. Let's go watch this video together, guys. So Coco Chanel is a calf on my farm. This is not a video of her actually being born, but it's another video.
Hey guys, Louis Shallow here. Hey, we have a cow. Her name is Higgins that's freshening today, and she's kind of like an old family favorite. So let's go check out and see how she's doing.
So guys, you can see Higgins here. She is laying on her side. If you look back here, you can see that the amniotic sac is poking out. So calves come into the world diver position. So they come out with their both front feet forward. As you can see, Higgins just does not care. She is still eating. It is less painful for cows to give birth than humans, so Higgins is just kind of chilling. We'll wait and we'll watch a contraction. So watch her tense up, and that's what a contraction is. That's when her uterus clamps and tries to start pushing the baby out. So we'll wait and see one of those. You can see Higgins, guys, she's just chilling. She has no cares. There's a contraction. See, she's squeezing. All right. So we're coming along. So now we can see Higgins. She's got her baby's feet and face poking out. She's kind of laying on her side. This is getting to be the hard part. We'll hop ahead a little. Now we can see Higgins is really working. She's really gotten most of that baby's face out. We can see that baby's face right there. There's a contraction, a little bit more of the baby comes out. Here we go. Cute calf coming into the world, guys. So the farmer is going to go up. You guys see that bubble on the calf's face? He's going to go up here in just a second and remove that bubble, the amniotic sac, so that Higgins' calf can start to breathe. So he's just saying he should have pulled that off earlier, which, I mean, I agree. So he's going to come in here. He's going to pull this sac off Higgins' baby's face so it can start to breathe. At this point, Higgins' baby is still breathing through its umbilical cord. Oh, and there it goes. The baby was just born all the way. So the farmer's going to pull that amniotic sac off. And he's stimulating her nose to get her to breathe. And there she goes. She's out all the way. All right. So Higgins is already going to go ahead and stand up. So you can see the calf. She's getting ready to blink for the first time. She's kind of looking around, wondering what's going on. There we go. Got a blink. And we're going to jump ahead just a second. So we jumped ahead about a minute. Higgins is already standing up and starting to lick her baby. You can see the baby, that blood you see at the bottom is her umbilical cord. So Higgins is licking her baby dry. That also stimulates the baby to start breathing. You can kind of see the baby's already starting to think about standing up. So baby calves will typically stand up within an hour of being born. Higgins is a good mama, guys. She's taking care of that baby. All right. So we're at the start of our life cycle. We've seen a cow give birth to a new baby calf. Let's hop back in. So guys, day one, Coco was born after 283 days of gestation on Miss Warrens' farm in Kieseltown. So after gestation, another word for pregnancy, Coco's mom goes and lives with the rest of the milk cows, and she's going to have around a 10-month lactation. So if Coco's mom is living with the milk cows, who's taking care of Coco? Miss Warrens does. Look at this cute baby in our living room. So I'll take... If babies are born in the winter when it's cold outside, I'll take her back to our house to warm up. And then I'm going to give her some of that valuable colostrum. That really helps jumpstart the calf's immune system. So critical thinking. Let's think about it, guys. Why didn't Miss Warrens leave Coco with her mom? Why did I take her baby away? Is it because Miss Warrens is a jerk? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Hit pause. Try to think of a few reasons why I would why dairy farmers take calves away from their mothers. All right, let's talk about it, guys. So, first things first, it is obviously very cold outside. You know, not right now, it's currently March and beautiful. But, you know, if calves are born in the winter or in the summer, little baby calves don't do well in extreme temperatures. If it's cold and they're born soaking wet, they can actually die from the cold. If they're born in the summer, they really struggle with that heat. So I want to take the calves and make sure that they are in a good climate control environment. Additionally, if I leave those little new babies outside, they're really vulnerable to predators in those first couple of hours. You know, obviously they get standing up pretty quickly, but they're really vulnerable to a cow coming along and hurting them. Additionally, the calf can actually get hurt by its mother. We've had quite a few babies that are, not us, but it's not all that uncommon to have babies get broken legs because their moms step on them. Dairy cows are not very graceful. Additionally, babies can get hurt if multiple cows fight over them. And finally, a lot of cows, dairy cows especially, guys, are not very good mothers. We saw Higgins was a good mom. She was starting to lick her baby. But most moms really aren't like that. They just kind of have a baby and then they walk away from it. And who's going to take care of that baby? I guess I am. Okay, so a couple reasons why we would keep Coco, why Miss Warrens will raise Coco instead of her mom. So, day 2 to 4, guys. So Coco's now in a calf hutch getting settled. It has lots of straw to help keep her warm. She has free access to calf starter and water. And she's going to be getting bottles of colostrum 2 to 3 times a day. So you guys can see they have these little calf hutches that we keep the calves in. Why do we house those calves in those calf hutches? Take a minute. Think about it. All right, guys. Hopefully I have some ideas. So for starters, let's talk about the calves' immune system. So when calves are young, they don't have much of an immune system, so it's important that we limit their exposure to other animals. So right now, this calf can only really have contact with the cows on either side of it. So The biggest thing with our calf hutches is it limits their exposure to potential germs. I think that's especially poignant right now with the coronavirus. So it's kind of like each calf is in quarantine. Additionally, those little hutches are easy for the calves to heat up. So because they're so small, it's almost like having a blanket on top of them. If you've ever been in a little room with a lot of people, you know how hot it gets in there. So it helps the calf keep itself warm. And in the summer, the calf hutch has windows in the back we can open so they can catch a breeze. Some other reason why we keep them in the calf hutch, guys, it's so the farmer can care for each calf individually. I can make sure that that calf drinks its whole bottle, and I can see what its poop looks like. I like to see if it has scours. Remember that diarrhea? Little calves are really prone to scours, and if they catch scours, they can actually die from it. It's the #1 killer of calves. So I want to see everything coming in and going out of that calf. All right, next up. So Coco is learning how to eat calf starter, and she's getting bottles every day. She's closely monitored for any signs of pneumonia or scours. Those are both very bad. And around 8 weeks, Coco is going to be weaned and moved out of the hutches and into a group pen. So you can see Coco in this picture. It was a cold day. I have her in a different barn right now. She's wearing a calf jacket. I like to keep them warm, like to keep them happy. All right, next up, month 2 through 14. So Coco keeps living with the other calves and she keeps growing. She'll begin experiencing heats and will be bred by artificial insemination around 14 months of age. So let's think, guys, with artificial insemination, that is where the farmer, you can order bull semen out of a catalog and then you inseminate the cows. Let's think about what we know about bulls and why artificial insemination is better than natural service. Think about it. Alright guys, so the #1 reason why AI is better is because it is safer for the farmer. As we talked about in Dairy 101, bulls are very, very aggressive, and it's actually better to not have them around at all. You really don't need a bull to run a dairy farm, you just need to get your cows bred. So it's safer for the farmer. It's also safer for the cows. Bulls are very aggressive towards other cows as well, and with Coco, as little as she is, if a cow tries to mount her, he could actually damage her pelvis if she falls over. Additionally, cow STDs are a thing, sexually transmitted diseases, and with artificial insemination, everything is screened for that. So, a couple of reasons why AI is better than natural service. Final big reason why AI is better is because you can order semen from bulls that are really, really, really good. So, you can order semen from $1 million bulls whose calves are beautiful and produce tons of milk and blah, 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 blah. So if you want to improve your dairy farm, get your cows to be better and better and better, you should always use AI. Next up, so Coco gives birth to a baby of her own. If that baby is a heifer, if it's a girl, she'll be raised to produce milk. If it's a boy, he's going to be raised to produce beef. So this is not Coco in this picture. This is one of her cousins. Coco is still a little baby right now. But I think this is Jesse. Yeah, this is Jesse. Jesse in this picture, you can tell, guys, had a bull calf. So he's going to be raised to produce beef. So once Coco has her first baby, she's going to move in with the milking herd. She's going to be milked twice a day for around 5 minutes each day. After she's milked, her milk is stored in the bulk tank before it goes to the store. In this picture, you can see my little brother Bram and my little sister Ella. They are spraying down our milking parlor, cleaning it up after a morning milking. So year 2, here's one of our cows, Ava. As you can tell, she's very, very pregnant right now. Look at how big she is, bless her heart. So guys, after her voluntary waiting period, so after Coco has her baby, she gets about 2 months off before we breed her back. She will then produce milk for around 300 days, and then we are going to dry her off, and she will have her dry period. So, she will follow that pattern of having about 1 baby per year for the next 10 or so years. If she becomes sick and passes away for whatever reason, we have a compost pile that we compost all of our cows on. So if Coco's not able to breed back, if she's no longer able to have babies, well, you can't produce milk without babies, so Coco will have a job change. Instead of being a dairy cow, she's going to be a beef cow. And you might go, but Miss Warren, that's so mean. How could you eat Coco? Well, I'm not going to eat Coco. She's going to go to the grocery store. And guys, on our farm, everybody has to have a job. My job is to milk the cows, manage the cows, and our cow's job is to produce milk. And if our cows can't produce milk, the only other job for cows is to produce beef. Everybody's got to pull their weight so that we can survive. All right, guys. I will post the assignment that goes with Dairy 102. It's called Social Media Agvocating. It's like advocating, but for agriculture in Google Classroom. Thanks for watching.